Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever the heck time it is, whatever time zone you're in, whatever device you're on. How are you? Two dudes coming at you. Episode 2 to the 6, 26. Curry, we got 25 in the book, man. How do you feel?
I feel good, man. And by the way, appreciate we showing up in blue today. This is fun. We didn't even plan this, but we are blue brothers today. So,
hmm
yeah, man, I'm excited. We've been chatting offline and getting ready, and I'm just fired up for this. So let's have some fun.
Blue is also known as a communication color. So we are going to communicate, hopefully effectively, to you guys today about some cool stuff. So, by the way, if you're new here to Two Dudes Talking, you're just checking us out for the first time, maybe you're one of those folks that's watched all 25 episodes. And if so, we appreciate you. You rock. Welcome to the Rock Show. Good to have you here. Make sure you guys are subscribed, hit that bell icon so you get notified anytime we put out new stuff. Also, if you guys have suggestions for a topic for us, drop that in the comments down below. Would love to hear from you, and also just love to say hi. Today, talking about owning your niche, niching down. I don't even know if that's niching. Is that a phrase?
I don't think so.
It
It
is
almost
now.
sounds like
So it is now. So niche down. I've heard that before. Niche down. And we hinted on this last week, and we talked about this a little bit. Where I had seen a video, and it really talked about whatever your business, whatever your network marketing company promotes, whether it's health or it's digital or it's wealth or whatever it is that it does, it's about taking the problem that your company compensation plan, whatever it is, solves and owning that one specific thing right there. What problem can you fix with your network marketing company? And that's what and how you should be marketing. So focusing on that niche where the alternative is, hey, I'm in a network marketing company. We make money. We have great products. Our products are all over the gamut. Let's go talk about everything all at once. And then it's like, you're just standing on the back of the boat, casting the biggest net that you possibly can, hoping that you scoop up something where when you're fishing in a barrel and there's 1,000 fish in that barrel, it's pretty simple. So a couple of concepts and a couple of, you know, things to think about there. So Curry, when I say owning the problem or owning the niche, what does that trigger for you?
Well, that this is something I teach a lot. I focus on. I have one specific analogy I use a lot, but to go back to what you just said about casting the net, we're literally talking about most people are trying to fish in the ocean, and then you've got people who fish in ponds. And so the people who fish in oceans, unless you know what you're doing, you could literally just go stand on the beach and cast out into the ocean and maybe catch a fish because the ocean is so gigantic. You just,
hmm
just randomly, you don't know what you're fishing for. You don't have a clue what you're doing. I've been teaching this analogy for years about understanding that we're fishing, that if you were the guy who creates fishing poles, like your business was fishing poles, you're not just going to go out on social media and start blasting the world with fishing poles because not everybody wants a fishing pole.
hmm
You need to find the place where people like fishing, and then you can narrow it down to I want to help specific types of fishermen. So
hmm
narrowing that niche, what he's talking about with niching it down, it, your company may offer a myriad of products. They may have a whole bunch of things to offer, but are you trying to
We don't use
be?
the word myriad enough. I'm just
I
throwing that
know
out
I
there.
threw that in there. That's my 25-cent word for the day.
Yeah,
I
good
threw it
one.
in there. I think did I use it correctly? I think I
You
did.
did, yes,
I
yes.
feel like it did. I feel,
hmm
but if you're like if your business is a sporting goods store and they have everything, but you specifically want to focus on the football players. I'm only going to focus on helping people find, and then those football players might also play soccer. Those football players may also go over here and like fishing, and they might like hunting. So, understanding your target market or your niche allows you to really, really dumb this down and help a group of people that you can focus on.
Yeah. I'll see if I can try to give another example here too. Like a lot of network marketing companies are in the health niche. Now, health, very broad, very broad. So let's say hypothetically that you are in a supplement or health focused network marketing company. And one day you go out and you're making content about a greens drink. And then the next day you're going out and making content about a supplement. And then the next day you're going out and making content on a multivitamin. And then you're talking about CoQ10. And then you're talking about weight loss. And then you're talking about, and it's like you're talking about all this different stuff every single day, all these different products. And I see some of you guys posting on Facebook out there and your thing. And it's like I can go to your profile and it's like every day you're marketing a different product. Like, cool, great. Okay, so you're like a store. I could walk in and I can browse and I can peruse. Whereas if your company solves a specific health problem, you have a product that isolates one specific thing about health. Let's say hypothetically that it fixes gut health. I'll just go with gut health because it's the first thing that popped into my mind. And it and gut health we know is can help a lot of things. And you're talking about gut health. That's what we talk about owning the problem. So you study up on gut health. You study up on if you have good gut health, what other things can that affect? And you start talking about those topics. You start putting out content and videos and education, and you become the go-to person. You give yourself two of my favorite words here when it comes to marketing online: authority positioning. You create authority positioning around your channel and your brand, and wow, this person is really knowledgeable, and they also have something that helps with that specific thing, and then you own that, and so that way it's like people know exactly what they're going to get, what it does for them, versus just taking that net and going, here's all my stuff, want to buy it, like, and I think that it is a much more effective way to market. Now, you can also do that with your compensation plan. And I know, Curry, this is where you put a lot of attention to, is like you could focus on the fact that your business can help people make more money. That's another angle.
Yeah, I don't understand why being in network marketing, that's not the primary focus. Like for me, I fell in love with a product. I really did. A service. That's what I got into this before. I didn't even know I was in a business. And so the idea, once I found out that I could help average people have a little extra, I was like, that's what I want to do. It's just, but it is exactly what you're talking about. It took me
Hmm.
a while to structure my focus down to what it was that I specifically wanted to focus on. And with the gut health thing, one of the things that I think Dan and I both agree on is we want you to stop being in the billboard space. Like, your profile should be constantly making you the authority of the niche that you are talking about. And by doing that, you're telling more stories, you're giving more testimonials, you're doing more to make you look like you're surrounding yourself in the space that you're in, so that as you're creating your network and you're out here adding people and building your network, those people are seeing you not as spam, not as just add. They see you as, oh, this person might have a clue as to what they're talking about.
Yeah. So a quick example of one of the things that I did is I took my company and all the information around it, which ChatGPT knows a lot about that. And I took the video script, and we talked about this last week. I took the video script, I put it into ChatGPT, and I said, I want you to focus on this one chapter in this YouTube video that I watched where it talked about owning the problem and niching down or owning that niche. And I said, when you take what I do and this concept right here, and we put them together, what is the one specific thing that I can really niche down and focus on and own and talk about and really ingrain into my content and to you know, everything that I'm doing. And Chat GPT is like, hold my beer. Bloop, bloop, here you go. This would be, and it actually said, what a great concept. And it would be perfect if you focused on, boom, this one thing right here. And I was like, wow, that's so great. And then it gave me all the bullet points and backing behind it as to why it makes sense and what problem it solves and all that other stuff. And I just thought it was such a great concept and such a great idea. And since then, it's helped me create really, really great content focused on that one specific niche, on that and solving that one specific problem. And, I think Curry, you got it down in a way where it's, you know, if you're solving a problem financially, you can drill it down to a simple, yes or no question. The whole if I would you, if I could help you do this, which solves a problem, would you want to know more? That
It's
is
my bread and butter, baby. That's my bread
that
and butter.
is about as niched down, niched. I don't know if that's a word either, but it is now. So that's about as niched down as you could possibly get because it's very finite. It's very direct. It's very, hey, I'm going after this one specific thing versus look at everything my company can do.
Hey, Bob, do you need a new fishing pole? If I could show you a new fishing pole, would you be interested in taking a look at this new fishing pole? Just something simple. By the way, I want to go back to something you said a second ago about ChatGPT that I've been sitting here giggling about in my head. And you talked about how it told you how great of an idea it was, or whatever the focus was. It always I want to create a conversation in any of the AI platforms where it literally tells me that I'm an idiot. Like that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. It's
Don't
always so
do it.
ridiculously positive. It's always
Yeah.
but it's anyways, that made me laugh. I'm sitting over here just like this weekend, and we were talking about this offline about Grok and using AI.
Mhm.
I was building some stuff for this for inside this platform, and one of my favorite things was it even told me that this site that I was building was hot as hot as AF. Like it just was the most like real response. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Keep going. We this listen, when you start using these tools, and I said it last week, and I'm gonna say it this week. If I had these tools that are free 10 years ago, we'd be making millions of dollars by now. And
Mhm.
what there listen, if you can't figure out how to say something, how to respond to somebody,
Mhm.
if you're talking to somebody and they say, "Look, I really think this is a great idea, but I'm a little, on the fence about this time, money, got to ask my wife, got to da da da, whatever the
Mhm.
objection is." These tools allow you to just take the response and go, what should I say to them?
Yeah.
Instantly
It's
having a row of responses. And but this ties into your niche. When you have the specific focus, now you can use these tools to create so much focused content that will literally make you the expert all the
mhm.
time. You just can constantly say, because by the way, these AI platforms know everything. I mean,
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
So
You're
you
not going to
don't
outsmart
know
it.
this much, and it knows all of it. And you can just ask it anything, and you can make it yours. Sorry, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, no, we could have an AI talk for multiple episodes here, but it's cool how we weave it in there in all these episodes because it makes sense though, and especially when it comes to focusing on you know, if there's one thing that you could take away from this episode today, it would be what is the problem that you can own? What problem does your specific network marketing company solve? Whether it's compensation, whether it's, a product based, health based, wealth based, financial based, whatever it is. What problem can you solve that can help more people? And when you can keep it that simple and you can focus solely on that, you're going to see more results in your business. End of story, you know?
But why? Well, I could answer it. You want me? I mean, I was
Yeah,
just
just take
playing.
it. I mean, I got several things, but go for it.
So why is it narrows down not only the specific body of fish that you're fishing from a pond or from an ocean to a pond to a barrel. If you start narrowing it down even to a barrel, you can narrow it down to an aquarium. You know what I mean? You can narrow it down to the size where you've got all the fish living in that aquarium, and you're just every day dropping a little hook, dropping a little hook, dropping a little hook, and you're going to get so much cleaner and faster results because what problem you're solving
Mhm.
versus I just want to fish. I
Yeah.
just want to cast. I just want to be the best professional caster because I think that's where a lot of network marketers are. They have become professional casters. And every day I hear, every single day, Curry, I sent messages, but nobody's responding. I
Mhm.
Nobody's replying to me. They're leaving me on red. I'm like, you're out here casting in an ocean, talking to somebody you don't even know if they want what you have. You're not
Mhm.
asking them anything. You're not presenting them any bait. You're not telling them, I got this thing.
Mhm. Another example of that specifically is and I've talked about this before here, is I rebuilt and am rebuilding a new Facebook account because my last one got suspended. And I am not, there's no high school friends. There's no people I grew up with. There's no one. I built it just solely for business.
I'm your
And the,
friend.
what's that?
I said, I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Go
I'm
ahead, keep going. Sorry.
solely the only friends that I add, period, are other network marketers. I haven't even accepted friend requests from people in my neighborhood. Like I've had neighbors friend request me. I just leave them hanging. I don't accept them. So I literally only am adding friends as network marketers. Okay. So when I put out content, I'm putting out content directly to network marketers. Okay. That's so we'll go down, we'll look at two different paths here. So if I put out, I'm focused on a specific niche, I'm talking to, and this is also important here too. Think about this when you're putting your content out, whether it's written content or it's verbal, you're speaking it in a video. You're speaking to a very specific person that literally needs what you have. So if I'm putting out a piece of content, I'm letting those other network marketers know that my product, service, or comp plan solves a very specific problem that they have. If they're not making money, there you go. If they need my product or service, here's what it is, here's what it does, here's why you need it. Okay. So think about who you're speaking to in your content, and are you drilled down far enough that you're speaking directly to that one person, or again, are you just casting that really big wide net? Another thing to think about, and this is also where ChatGPT can come into play, is when you're creating that content, use ChatGPT to give you those great 1 to 3 second hooks, because when anyone's watching a video, you have 3 seconds or less to hook them to get them to stay on your video, or they're going to scroll on to the next one. So if you're niched down far enough and your hook addresses what that problem is in the first 1 to 3 seconds, now you can get their attention. Versus if you press record and you go, hey, Daniel here. I just want to make this video and talk to you today about it's like gone. See ya. They're done, you know. Where if let's say we're talking about compensation, right? And you're solving the problem of people don't have enough money. And if you in the first 1 to 3 seconds, if you just said, if I could show you in less than a minute how to create $2,000 a month or more in the next 10 days, would you want to know how?
By the way,
Now you
on
might have
this
their attention.
on this, I have found that there is a massive growing trend of negative hooks. Negative hooks are wildly offensive and will get your attention and you will stay on it. For some reason, all of media thrives on negative. They want to show you the news wants to show you
Have you watched the
more of
news in the last 50 years?
right. It's high, so more people are drawn to and pulled to negative. So we've
Of
watched
course.
over the years, over this last year, groups of people dropping the F bomb within 1 second, and people stay on it, and then it gets their attention. Because I do focus on money, I open with lots of high energy screaming about them being broke within 1 second,
Yep.
so that they go, what? What? You're not talking to me. Yes, I am. I'm talking directly to you, Mr. Broke person with no money in your pockets. That's who I'm talking to.
So human psychology 101 here. Just food for thought on what you just said. It is actually easier for the human brain or the a person to speak negative than it is to speak positive. We actually have to work harder to be positive. How crazy is that?
Isn't it the same way with smiling? It takes so many more muscles to
To frown.
smile
Yeah.
than it does to just frown. Just
Yeah.
it's
Hmm?
this it actually hurts me to smile, to be honest. I will tell you with complete truth and honesty. People are like, "Would you smile in your pictures?" I'm like, "No, it feels bad. I don't want to do it."
But yeah, I mean, 1,000% negativity sells. I mean, who is it that was talking about this? Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about this in a piece of content I was watching months ago. Um, like so many advertisements that you guys see out there, and I don't want to go like too far down this rabbit hole, but I think it's worth addressing because all of these, not all of these, but many of these commercials that you see are billions of dollars are spent on tearing us down. Like, you're too fat, you're too ugly, you're too this, you're too that. Oh, here's my product that will help you with all these things. There you go. So even though the commercial might be designed to be like, hey, this is awesome, the advertisement is basically telling that you're not good enough, so you need it. And that's
Is
really,
it? Is it? And I'm not doubting what you just said. I'm just questioning with devil's advocacy the difference between approaching people with a real situational problem versus hurting their feelings. Like, we're not trying, like, an ad shouldn't try to hurt your feelings, but
no,
it
of course not.
should catch your attention that I might be. It's like the pharmaceutical commercials. You see them every single day on all these platforms, and they come out and they show, a couple bike riding and taking a
Mm.
bath together, and they're having all this, and then it's like some herpes medication. It's like, and then at the end, you're like, wait, I don't have herpes, but that looks like a better life. I want herpes.
Yeah, I
This
mean, I think in
conversation
terms of
just took a
like makeup commercials or,
right.
stuff like that, where it's like, oh, you might need this because you might not look good enough. So
I'm a catfish. That's what I'm
you
doing.
you need our product.
By the way, with filters on any type of platform now, you don't need their product. You can look any way you want to. I mean, Dan actually has hair, but he does this filter for the entire.
Mhm.
He has this. He has an afro. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just find that sometimes the shaved head, it helps keep me more aerodynamic. I can walk faster. I can get to places just a little bit quicker. Uh, I
Having
don't
the
know.
wife chase you. She's like, "Slow down! You're too fast."
It sounds good. Yeah. But,
But you're right. The niches and how we approach them, how we talk about them, how we market to them, you're going to get better results if you narrow your funnel from having this gigantic nothingness
mhm.
to and by the way, the kings of these people are the people who run like Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and they're literally knowing exactly who
Yeah.
it is they're talking to. They go from having 8 billion people to talk to down to about 25,000. And then they run their ads to those 25,000 people and go, I'm going to get 100 sales today.
Yeah. And, in a specific example I was looking at over the weekend, It's a video I saw by Frank Kern. Frank Kern has been in the sales and marketing industry for many, many years, makes buku bucks. Um, and he was talking about, basically how to guarantee the sale. And it was in the same exact framework that we're talking about right now, which is, owning that problem, owning that niche, and making sure that your product or service, whatever it is, addresses that one specific problem. And then, so I kind of took what I learned last week and then kind of applied it with what I was getting from Frank Kern's video. And he was saying, you basically get them 99% of the way there. So the sale is virtually guaranteed, where you give them so much upfront value that they feel like they already have the product. And that's the only thing that's missing, where it's like, hey, if this is my problem, let's go back to gut health, right? And you're trying to solve the problem of gut health. You're trying to help educate people on gut health. So you're like, here's this guide on exactly what great gut health can do. Here's this step-by-step thing of how to fix gut health, and with your product, but you can give them the PDF that walks them through what to do, how to use it, how to get the best results from it. You can walk them through, hey, these are the foods and the diet you might want to have, along with these other two things to get the best result to improve that gut health. And you combo all this and you give them all this information. So that way, now they're like, wow, this person is such a great resource. I'm learning so much. I have all this stuff. I know all this stuff. Man, the only thing that's missing is that product. Oh, let me go get that. And to me, I was just like, man, that makes a whole lot of sense, So it's like, that's, at least in Frank Kern's world, that's how he not guarantees those results, but he virtually guarantees a very, very high sales success rate because he over delivers on all of that value. And I know, Curry, in your business, you do very similar things where you just, from giving people content to giving people websites to, I do similar things as well, but, giving people all the information for free, everything that they're going to need to be successful. The only thing that's really missing is the business itself.
Well, and their action. I mean, it's like
For sure. Yeah.
But we're telling you guys this after decades of education, decades of experience, total failure. We both have made total mistakes, lost business, lost social media, lost. And so we're telling you guys this because we want you to use this knowledge, just as we have 25 episodes in the past, use the knowledge to make better choices in your path. So it doesn't take you 10 years to get to where we are. It takes you 2 years because it's going to still take time. Don't act like you're going to hear what we're saying. You're going to go apply it today and it's instantly going to work because you haven't developed your network yet. You haven't developed your news feed or your timeline or your video series. It takes time to put it all together. You can't just open the door and go, I'm the expert. And everybody goes, oh, I got to learn from him. Got to learn from her. Got to go do these things. It takes time and it's okay. I want this on my tombstone. So Dan, if you get a chance to force Christy,
we have it recorded
on my tombstone. What else did he have to do? I want that, like that phrase. It's like, if you're already doing some stuff and it's like, what else you got to do? Like, it's a Saturday. I'm going to watch some TV. I'm going to listen to something. I'm going to use my time to build whatever it is that I'm going to build for my marketing, for my stuff, for my next week. What else do I got to do? This one phrase is something that drives me. It's like, I don't want to do the other stuff. I want to do what the stuff I want to do because it's what I got to do.
Yeah. I want to go back to when we were talking about posting. I had another idea here. I want to go back to when we were talking about posting on social media. And like for me specifically, when, the only friends that I'm adding are network marketers. So I want you to think about like whatever niches that your product or service or business solves. If you're going into specific Facebook groups and you're adding these specific people as friends, you're already going to narrow down a little bit. So then you take your content and you can speak directly to the person that needs your product. So you're doing this in the first 1 to 3 seconds. So what this is going to do for you is when the person watches that first one, and let's say hypothetically we're talking about short form video here, or it could be a written Facebook post, but more specifically short form video, because this is going to get their attention more than a written post, in my opinion. Is when the person sees the first 1 to 3 seconds, they're gonna know exactly what the video is about. So you're already going to eliminate the people that don't need your product or service, and the people that do need your product or service, now you're talking directly to them. And then the rest of your video can educate them on why they need it. So I hope that makes sense. So it's like you can narrow down your niche, narrow down your market with who you're adding as friends, who you're allowing into your world. When you're putting out your content is going to speak to directly to their problem. So you can own that and they can know exactly what they're going to get. And then from there, the more value that you can add to them learning who you are, watching all of your content, maybe going down your rabbit hole and checking out your YouTube channel and your bio and your profiles and being like, what's this dude all about? Man, look at all the value that I get. This might solve the problem that I have. Hope that makes sense.
Dude, it not only makes sense, it made me crazy while you're talking, because this is why I like Facebook over any other platform. Facebook allows you to go to groups, and those groups are specific to a niche. So if you're
Yeah.
looking for people in a specific niche, you just go to that little search bar up there and you type your keyword, whatever the one thing you want to focus on, and it's going to give you a list of stuff. And you just go over to where it says groups, not pages, not people, not anything else, groups. And you click groups, and you're going to see 1,000 groups with people in them that put themselves in there. They literally put themselves in an aquarium, not a pond, not a barrel, not the ocean. They put themselves, they hop their little self right into these groups. Because I've never, ever been added to a group. I've always just said, hey, I want to be in that group. Hey, I'd like to join this group. Hey, I'd like to be in this group. But when you know how to manipulate this stuff for marketing, you just go to the ones that say public. And you don't have to join any of them. You don't have to be in any of them. You just go to the members area and you just go down there, and every day I want to add these people as my friends. I want to constantly just be adding people in this niche market as my friends. Now, here's where the amateur versus the expert comes in. The amateur attacks them. Like adds them as a friend. When they see the friend request added,
into the
they
DM.
just jump right in to attack them. The expert lets them sit, lets them watch their new friend, let them see, gives them time. And then, 3-4 weeks later, go back to your friends list and go down about 40, 50 people and then go, okay, I'm going to message this person and say, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I don't know you. You don't know me. I don't want anything from you, but hey, I saw you. Have a nice day. And just let them watch. Because guys, what happens is if you do this enough, this way, and you're getting people from the aquarium and you are doing this as an expert, people that you added 120, 200 people down are going to start commenting on stuff that you're putting out good content for. They're going to start seeing what you're doing and they're going to want to interact with you. And you can then go, hey, do you happen to know about this? And it opens the door. Like Dan was talking about, you are taking the Frank Kern method and just narrowing that down and then selling it to them without them even knowing they've been sold. And then you're just like, here, have some of this.
Yeah. It's on that topic too. A little quick rant here is I was going through exactly what you were just saying, Curry, over the weekend, and I was going into specific groups and also, going to find very successful network marketers and going to their posts, and the people that are engaging in their content, I'm adding them as friends because, they also
networking, baby, networking.
That's it. And I'm sitting there, adding friends. Again, keeping the net smaller, more focused, and more niche down. And I mean, like clockwork, you add someone as a friend, and then Within 5 minutes, they're in your inbox. Hey, what keeps you busy these days? And here comes the generic crap. So about a week ago, I put out a post, and I had ChatGPT write it, and it was kind of like the opposite of that. It was like, and I asked the question. I said, "Why is it that when you add someone as a friend, or they add you as a friend, they're in your inbox within 5 minutes, and they're trying to pitch you on their product or service?" And then also says, "No one in the history of ever has showed up and slid into your DM without the purpose of pitching you. I mean, they're there for a reason, right?" So this person, literally yesterday, I add them as a friend. Not even 30 seconds, and they're in my inbox. Hey, how may I be of service to you? What can I help you with? And I was like, I'm good, all set. And they're like, well, you friend requested me, so now I just copy and pasted my post, and I just said, here, read this. And then they circle back, and they're like, oh, I get it. Well, if we're going to be friends, I just want to know a little bit about you. Where are you from? And I'm like, says where I'm
I,
from right in my profile. You don't need to ask me a dumb question. I'm like, if you'd pay attention, whatever. And then it was like, and then this is where it can get really interesting, because a lot of network marketers feel like they are the answer, like Allen Iverson. They are the solution. They are the expert. And this one person said, well, I just took a look at your profile, and it looks like you post a lot about your business, but not about your personal life. It seems like that's not really going to work. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, so I should consult with you on how to better run my business. And they replied, isn't that what good friends do? And I'm just like, like, I was
wow.
like, I was like, this conversation is coming to an incredibly fast end, because this person wanted to assert themselves as the expert on how to run businesses on Facebook. And I needed their services in order to do this. In order to be successful, I needed them in my life. And I was just like,
Well, just ask for their resume. It's like, hey, listen, I've been thinking about working with a brand new person, and I'd love to see your resume.
yeah.
By the way, what I want to add to, I'm going to add to this isn't I watched a TikTok video this weekend that might have been one of the smartest videos I've ever witnessed. A young lady who was, I would say, a 7 out of 10 attractive level. Very, very okay, attractive level. She is putting out into the world the problem with being pretty. And she's talking about how when you're pretty, people only want one thing, and they're coming after you to either build you up or to tear you down. And so when you're the expert and you're doing stuff and you're messaging people, realize we all are either pretty or we ain't pretty. And
Mm-hmm.
we're either putting out our content and looking pretty where people want to come at us to get something from us, or they're trying to tear us down.
Yep.
And that happens instantly. So there may really be a curse for being attractive. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. I'm not even remotely in that
You
situation.
could look at it another way too. There may also be a curse for being knowledgeable,
Oh, for sure. I had
because
that. Go
if
ahead.
if you've been in the industry, we'll just take network marketing as an example. If you've been in the industry for a specific period of time and you have more knowledge than somebody else, it's the same person that shows up on your content and says this is a scam or snake oil or whatever it is. They're using those negative, because they are trying to tear you down, and it's they're doing it from a sense of lack of confidence, lack of knowledge, and they're trying to pull you down to their level. And it could be the same thing if someone is very attractive. It's like, oh, they're more attractive than me. Let me tear them down and bring them down to my level so I can feel better about myself.
I witnessed this with some exes in my life, and we were eating at a small restaurant, and a very attractive woman walks in who was turning heads, and people was dropping silverware, and it was like she was very attractive, and I sat at that table with a pair of people who literally couldn't stop just talking about her socks, just picking at her
Mm-hmm.
socks.
Yep.
And it's like nobody in this room noticed she had socks. Not
Yeah.
one person except for the people who are hating, just like
Mm-hmm.
jealous, hating. And I had this conversation with my son Levi just yesterday. It took me a long time because I didn't know anything. It took me a long time to develop into this person who has a lot of extra knowledge in this space. And I have learned that you can print money in any industry if you have knowledge. People want knowledge and they
Mm-hmm.
will trade their money for your knowledge. So when you become the expert and when you have a following and when you have the ability because you've spent time learning and building your niche and focusing on the things that work, you can then turn around and offer additional things that are even outside of your company, outside of your job, outside of your hobby. And you can, like, if I was a model airplane builder I become very, very good at it. And I knew everything about, specific companies and models and specific glues and specific tools to use and specific, all the things. You just put together some guides and you
Mm-hmm.
just set this up there and you can literally help people, which does one major thing, attracts more people to you.
Mm-hmm.
It just, when you become and you put yourself up there and you get to that level, I mean, it's crazy what your niche grows to.
Yeah. That's yeah. It's like how Russell Brunson got his start by, creating how to shoot a potato gun, how to build a potato gun, you know, took something that he was very knowledgeable in, packaged it all up, sold DVDs, sold PDFs, sold videos, all on how to
Captured
do that once.
leads.
You he packaged up his knowledge, just like you've packaged your knowledge into courses. I've packaged my knowledge into courses, like, and those things, just like you said, Curry, are outside of our network marketing business, but it's another way to create income. We've both said this a thousand times. Like, when you get into the field of network marketing, when you really stay in it for the long haul and you practice it, and you just develop so many skill sets on so many levels that, it's a hidden personal development company in disguise, even though they sell and have all these cool things that they offer. You're really just working on personal development and bettering your skills, becoming a better marketer, becoming more knowledgeable, offering more value, all of those things.
My
And with that,
hold on. My mentor told me this for years, that network marketing is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. That line,
Mhm.
it's the truth. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're 1,000% on point. And that's, if you just realized that, whatever your business or niche or company is, if you just stay in it long enough and you put in the effort, we talked about, you got to take the action, you got to put in the effort. But if you do, you can create some awesome stuff in your life, like really awesome stuff. By the
You
way,
should go do it.
if you made it to this point in the video, like, comment, subscribe, would you? Go ahead, smash that thing if you
Heck,
haven't
I want to
already.
hear what your niche is. Put your niche in the comment below.
Yeah, that'd be really cool too. Actually, know what? What problem are you going to solve with your
Ooh,
business?
ooh.
If you if you made it to this point in the video, thank you. You rock. We're probably 45 minutes in plus. If you, yeah, what problem, and only make it one thing. Do not be like, oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this, or I'm going to do this and this. One thing. What problem are you going to solve? I think that's such a great question. I'm going to ask that on Facebook today. What one specific problem does
You
your
will
business
get
solve?
no correct answers, by the way. I asked this the other day. I was like, why are you in network marketing? I heard the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm like, but why? But why? But
Yeah.
why? But why? But why? Narrow it down. Like,
Mhm.
why?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I want to hear that in the comments. Let me know. Curry, I think we're going to have some very interesting answers. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that.
I would love
And
to see him. I can't wait to see him, and maybe we can address him. That'd be really fun on an episode. We just literally open up and address, questions, problems. Let's,
mhm.
how can we help people more?
Yeah. Yeah. What problem are you going to solve?
The
Are you,
problem that we solve in this podcast is adding intelligent conversation and belief to an entire industry.
boom, boom. All right. Well, that's it. Episode 26 in the books. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Curry, as always. Always a pleasure, my friend. And
Love being here, man. Love helping.
all right. We'll catch you guys on episode 27. Thanks for
Bye,
watching.
guys.
See you later.